30 citizens dead, 60 injured. The government in Uttar Pradesh has imposed key changes after the deadly stampede that occurred at the Mahakumbh and has announced a complete Mela area as a non-vehicle zone, and all VVIP vehicle passes have been cancelled. A little too late, don't you think? Here's a detailed report.
Just a day after the deadly stampede, which took at least 30 lives, the authorities have imposed stringent measures to manage the crowd at the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj. The entire Mela area has been declared no vehicle zone and only emergency vehicles will be allowed. All special vehicle passes for VVIPs have been cancelled. One-way traffic system has been established for devotees. Vehicles from neighbouring districts are stopped at district borders. All these restrictions will be in place till February 4th.
This is the access towards Sangam, and vehicles are no longer being permitted to go from here at all. Every vehicle is now being stopped. Only police vehicles, emergency vehicles and vehicles of the administration will be permitted.
Calling the stampede unfortunate, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ordered a 3-member judicial probe and announced 25 lakh rupees ex gratia for the families of the deceased.
घटना दुखद है, मर्माहत करने वाला है। उन सभी परिजनों के प्रति हमारी पूरी संवेदना है।
Speaking to India Today, eyewitnesses recounted the terrifying moments.
कहा तुमने एक ढलान था, वहाँ पर खड़े थे, कुछ आदमी आया झंडा लेके अचानक गिरा दिया, अचानक से गिर गया, और गिरने से गिरा तो पटक गए, और मेरे ऊपर 10 आदमी खड़ा हो गया।
आपके ऊपर कोई चढ़ गया था?
10 आदमी ज्यादा ही होगा।
Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav blamed the Yogi government for the stampede.
ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, इसलिए दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है क्योंकि सरकार खुद न्योता दे रही थी, सरकार खुद कार्ड बांट रही थी, और सरकार अगर कार्ड बांट रही थी, कार्ड तो उन्हीं को मिला ना जो वीआईपी थे, जिनकी जान गई वो उनको तो कार्ड नहीं मिला ना। भारतीय जनता पार्टी उससे हट नहीं सकती है। दिल्ली और लखनऊ दोनों सरकारें उसकी जिम्मेदार हैं।
The total number of devotees who have performed Holy Snan at the sacred confluence of Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati since the start of the Mahakumbh has exceeded 27 crore. The authorities have ramped up efforts to manage the crowd and ensure smooth facilities for the pilgrims.
On big Snan days, the Mahaparvs and the Amrit Snan days, Basant Panchami is a very big Snan that's coming up on the 3rd of February. So all these restrictions will stay in place. And officers have been warned that strictest possible action as per law will be taken for any dereliction of duty. With cameraman Kripal Singh at Prayagraj, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
Gaurav Sawant is live with me from the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh. Gaurav, what does the investigation say so far? The protocol changes, the removal of VVIP passes, etc., have been made, but the investigation into what happened has still not fixed accountability. What are you hearing?
Shiv, there are multiple changes that have been put into effect in the past 24 hours, and those changes are visible even today. So, like we mentioned, no vehicles, no hooters. This is a religious city. What should be heard are dhol and manjiras, are religious instruments, are bhajans, and not the arrogance of VVIP vehicles and their sirens, and not just VVIPs themselves, but their relatives, their uncles, and who else coming in cavalcade after cavalcade. There have been instances where traffic has been stopped for the common person has to wait for hours when the VVIPs cross from one sector to the other, to the third, to the fourth. And this has led to tremendous resentment. The government realizes there is anger amongst not just the devotees but also the akhadas. So now no VVIP movement, no vehicles, even journalists who have their car passes, they're only up to a certain point and then you have to walk beyond. So for everyone, there's a special VVIP ghat. You go to that VVIP ghat but do not cross from one sector to the other. So very major restrictions being put in place. But then, as you rightly asked, what about accountability for dereliction of duty that day when it was known that more numbers than this sector could accommodate were coming in? Why wasn't an exit route, an emergency exit opened immediately? There are, of course, a detailed inquiry has been ordered by a judge of the High Court. So when that 3-member committee submits its report, it remains to be seen whether action is taken then. But till then, Shiv, so that nothing happens on Basant Panchami or Maghi Purnima Snan on the 12th of February and then Mahashivratri, the concluding Snan on the 26th of February, some of these effects are being put in place.
Yes.
But then the devotees, their relatives, they're crestfallen, as are some of the officials, because they'd worked very hard. They were looking forward to a grand celebration, but then this the 30 deaths and 60 injuries has put a spanner in those celebrations of the Sanatan Dharma, Shiv.
Truly, truly tragic. Gaurav, thank you very much for that input from the Mahakumbh, and India Today will continue to report until accountability is fixed at the highest levels for what may have happened. You know, there may be those who say that, you know, given the number of people, something like this could have happened and one must look at the numbers. Well, I say no, not a single person should have been lost in the Mahakumbh. The organization should have been absolutely perfect, considering that the number of people descending in Prayagraj was known well in advance. The families of 30 devotees are in bereavement. They're mourning right now, and they had gone to the Mahakumbh for spirituality and for divinity. Among them was 24-year-old Mela Hatrawat, a resident of Belgaum in Karnataka, and her mother. Just hours before the deadly stampede at the Mahakumbh, Megha shared a video on social media requesting devotees, ironically, to avoid visiting the Kumbh Mela because of the heavy rush. Listen.
ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಭಾಳ ರಶ್ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಂತ ಒಂದು